You got about half the mic's width to go.
Oh, really? So a long time.
Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Keep going, keep going. Keep going, keep going. Way too much! Alright, Joe, let's start. So what we're calling it Similar Vein.
Yeah.
We're fine with that.
Why do we call it that?
Like, from a history point of view?
From a history point of view.
Well, because we were trying to come up with podcast names. Also, I thought we agreed that we wouldn't put the glass on the table.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it makes too much noise. I said you could put it on the thing behind you.
I totally missed that.
Joe, you're an animal. That's going to be so unpleasant. This is great. I'll have to do something with that.
Is that okay, or is it down below, or is it in the background?
That's fine. Just
like a small child, out of sight and out of mind.
Out of sight, out of mouth.
Out of mouth.
Out of mouth. Out of sight, out of mind, out of mouth.
Okay.
That's fine.
I've always said out of mouth.
Who hasn't?
I've always said out of mouth.
But I think it's just because even if you touch this lightly,
Yeah.
it's like bass. Like
Oh, really?
Yeah, it just picks it up. Which is it's a flaw in the design, if you ask me. Oh, you set the backbeat?
Better
I like
bass than my car, probably.
Better bass than a lot of things. It just vibrates straight up into the picky uppy
Wow.
voice.
Good or bad, Mike?
Good mic, bad. That's bad.
Bad theology.
Whoever designed that specific part of it.
Yeah,
It's
it's gave it a bad
Theology. All right, history of Similar Vein. The name, at least, was we were trying to come up with podcast names. And I might even still have the list of random,
I remember they were bad. It was probably the best one to come out of the list. Because the others were bad. And they were all from you, actually. You made them all up. Except for Similar Vein. That wasn't even you. It wasn't even a suggestion.
Exactly. Anyway, Similar Vein, all it was, I can't find it, which is a bit of a shame, but we basically came up with a number of different podcast titles, potentials. And one of them was the Daddy-Daughter podcast.
Yeah,
do you remember that? I just thought...
It was like your first suggestion as well. It wasn't even...
I just thought it'd be funny.
Because cute, like Good Mythical Morning-esque-ish.
My thought was just...
You wake up and you watch. No.
My thought was purely just... Like, you're
finish.
scrolling through... I appreciate that. You're just scrolling through to, iTunes podcasts.
Yeah.
And you see the Daddy-Daughter podcast. I'm like, what could that be?
We still could.
I mean, we haven't branded this in any way yet. So we can do whatever we want.
Daddy-Daughter podcast.
The Daddy-Daughter podcast. And I had a bunch of others. But then what I said was, I was like, one title, and then I said, and in a similar vein, and then I was about to say the other title.
Yeah.
And you and Jared were like, that's great!
Yay.
That's the best! And
That's
I'm like, what is? And you're like, in a similar vein. And I'm like, oh my god, that is actually pretty good, because then it's, it means like, because we're going to waffle.
Move on.
We're going to be like,
hardcore.
we're just going to be train wreck after train wreck of conversation, you know what I'm saying? Train of
Oh,
thought.
yeah,
There's something there. You're going from thing to thing to thing.
Something in there. It's good.
Yeah. And in a similar vein is a great transition. You're saying in a similar vein, blah 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 blah.
That's right. I do like that.
And I think it was so organic in how we came across it.
So organic. It was just
So
like a
natural.
band.
Yeah.
It's like the origin story of a band
Absolutely.
being formed together that hasn't gotten big yet. We're still in the garage.
Right.
We're still in the garage.
We're Steve Jobs in the garage with a little circuit board. You know what I'm saying?
We are. Yeah.
And I think that's beautiful. Anyway, so I'm Tom. This is Joe. We've got a video side of this podcast, and this podcast is essentially going to be Joe and I chatting, shooting the breeze, talking about stuff,
Shooting the breeze.
but also
More podcast names.
shooting the breeze. Okay, I like it. Shooting the breeze is a great
That
podcast
sounds
name.
like
Shooting the breeze.
The Happening movie plot.
Yeah.
It's coming! It's coming! The breeze! The wind!
I haven't seen that.
Basically, the wind is carrying some sort of chemical that makes
Okay.
people want to die and they kill themselves.
That's horrible.
It was one of his worst films, you're right. Horrible in
who
lots of
was
ways. M. Night Shyamalan.
Yeah.
Anyway, Shooting the Breeze. You basically...
That's great.
There's a bunch of scenes
That's
where
so
they're just
good.
running away from wind.
That's great. That's such a good joke that I didn't get at all.
Thank you.
Shooting the breeze.
Thanks.
Really high quality man.
Thanks.
I appreciate that a lot.
Thank you.
I'm glad you explained it to me because I
Good.
didn't get it.
No, good. I would... Yeah.
So anyway,
No guns.
we're shooting the breeze. We've got no guns. We're in Australia. We don't have guns.
We don't. I mean, we do have. You've 3D printed something.
I do. I could 3D print. I don't want to say I could 3D print a gun. I could, but there was so much drama over 3D printing a gun. We're on film right now.
Yeah, there was a lot.
There was so much drama. People were they're like, oh, you can print in plastic, which means it won't get detected in metal detectors.
Yeah.
So you can take a plastic gun onto a plane and shoot the pilot or something. And it's such a joke because if you print a gun out of plastic on an FDM 3D printer, you're going to blow yourself up. And not in a terrorist sense, in a I've blown my hand off sense while I was trying to shoot a gun. Because it's not structurally sound. You make guns out of like metal or steel.
Yeah, big time.
You're not doing it out of plastic. It's just a joke. Anyway.
It's a joke. I'm sorry to
yeah, you got it. You caught a nerve there, Joe.
What did I say?
Sorry? Say sorry. That's what you should say.
Sorry? I'm sorry. Hope you're happy. Great.
What was I saying?
You're so daddy, and I'm so daughter.
You're such my daughter in this podcast.
Yeah. Dang.
Oh god.
What were we talking about before? Guns. You 3D print.
Yeah.
That's part of your background.
I'm a designer.
He's the 3D printing friend.
We were talking about this off camera.
Off camera?
Off pod. When we weren't in the
PCast, we were talking about this. It's true. I only you have the friend that does the thing usually. I one friend who's the really business guy.
Yeah. The athlete, you could do the funny guy.
Yeah, you're the 3D printer guy.
I'm the 3D printer
which
guy.
is a bit of a new niche. It's an archetype, I guess, of sorts, but no, it's not. There you go. Sometimes I don't know what I'm talking about.
That's right. Theology. Am I right? Yeah.
Keep it real, brother.
Put it there.
Oh, the bass. Oh, God.
It's so deep.
It's so bad.
Yeah, I'm the 3D printer guy. And it's funny because it means that, like, when I have conversations with people, and, it's like the classic conversation starters, like, so what do you do, right?
Yeah, we only care about that. We don't care about who you are.
And that speaks volumes over our society.
He also parks weird. Ask him about how he parks, guys.
Only at my house. And I don't park weird. It's just the only way to park in that specific spot where I want to park. I've got to, every time I come home to park, I've got to come down the driveway, revert 3-point turn, go back out halfway out the driveway, and then reverse into the park.
Ask him about it, guys. See, there's so much more to him.
Ask him about how I park.
Don't ask him what else, how he works. He doesn't want to tell you about his 3D printing. He wants to tell you about how he parks.
I don't want to tell you about I'd talk about 3D printing way before I started talking about how I park. But what I was...
Fooled me, Tom. It's been a
you were having a go at how I was parking.
I did.
And the parking is just... I know what I'm doing. Trust me.
I don't think so.
I want you to try and park my car.
I want to try and park
We can do that after the podcast.
Okay.
I'm happy.
Sure. We can add a little additional film as the credits come up.
Of you smashing my car in my house.
That's right.
Like an 8-point turn. But what I was going to say was that when you're 3D printing, like when you run a 3D printing company, you are the 3D printing dude, right? In any situation. You're not going to have 2 3D printing guys. Odds are, anyway.
The odds are.
It means that...
Unless you 3D printed one.
That's
a fucking joke.
Exactly what just happened is what I was talking about.
Sorry, man.
You get... People think it's so funny to say, oh, you could 3D print X, right? You could 3D print Y. And so every single conversation I have with someone, it's always like, oh, that guy's an idiot. I bet Tom could 3D print him a brain. And I'm just there like, yeah, you give me 2 million of that sort of joke.
Sorry, Tom.
And it's just like, mate, yeah, sure, yes, I could. I can't, but I'll say I can.
Yeah. Never gets me out of this conversation.
Sure could, exactly.
Yeah. I have some stereotypes as well.
What are they?
What about you?
Oh.
You're Indian.
You continue to be Indian.
He's not. But I'm doing primary school teaching. This is my 4th year of primary. And every time I tell somebody I'm doing primary school teaching, I'm like, yeah, they really need men in the... And you're like, yeah.
I know.
Like, nobody else knows what to talk about when you tell them. When you tell them, I don't know 3D printer. a primary school teacher, like, yeah, you really need
more guys.
Need more guys in the industry. It's just what everybody hears in Australia.
I've heard that so often.
You probably told me that. Just like I
probably have.
You probably told me.
I probably have.
That's good though, because I need more guys.
I know.
I know. I do know.
All right, let's talk about what this podcast is.
Daddy-daughter podcast.
No, I don't. I hate that. I hate daddy-daughter. I think
Why would you suggest it?
I thought it was funny.
I kind of think it's funny now. I think I'm on the
same page. The daddy-daughter podcast is funny.
I kind of like it.
Yeah.
Because we're not. We're really not.
the joke.
Daddy-daughter.
I'm not your daughter.
And we trick a whole market in.
I feel like we're not going to find the people who are interested in listening to us talk, though, with that name. I feel like the people that would come across our podcast, if we're called the Daddy-daughter podcast, are not the type of person who would enjoy our content. You know?
Okay.
Because they'd be like, who are these idiots who are not a dad or a daughter?
I mean, no, you're right. There's nothing I have no further comments. So I guess that's the end of that. I am looking through my notes and
I have no notes.
There's nothing else. I prepared for every outcome, like a good dungeon master, and completely failed.
I've got nothing.
Nothing.
Alright. What this is, is that's what I was saying. We're zooming all the way back out. We're out of that hole of the conversation.
Good.
From similar vein to similar vein, we're zoomed right back out to we're shooting the breeze, right?
Ooh.
That's what the podcast is. I'm also down to change our name to Shooting the Breeze.
Shooting the Breeze is kind of nice.
We could have, that's just an easy logo.
Shooting the Breeze.
Shooting the Breeze.
First time I ever heard that expression though, so I don't know.
Shooting the Breeze?
Never.
It's a common expression.
Apart from happening.
Right?
M. Night Shyamalan. That's alright. That's cool. That's cool. We can call. I'm happy for that.
I like Shooting the Breeze.
I've never heard that ever.
Because that's what this essentially is. We're just shooting the breeze together. Just two dudes, two friends, two bros.
Yeah.
Shooting the breeze.
Shooting the breeze.
But also, we're answering some of the world's most important questions.
Sure.
What we're going to do this is to I'm looking at the video camera side of things now.
Yeah.
Every week.
I'm pretty busy. You can. I'm a pretty busy guy.
I can cut that out if you want.
Yeah, right.
What are we saying? Are we saying every week? We'll figure it out.
We'll talk.
We'll talk off
Just turn our
out of the
around
pod.
and just talk for. How you doing?
We clung into everything.
No,
We've got zero space.
You're right. Can't do that. We could do it
every
weekly,
time bi-weekly we could do a lot of things.
Twice a week, or does that?
Or
mean
every two. It means both.
It means
both. That's a blind spot in the English language. Bi-weekly,
I mean,
fortnightly.
Fortnightly
is what we should have said.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not a blind spot.
We should have said. I think you're
What
the problem.
you should have said.
You're the problem, buddy, not me. Absolutely.
Every time we sit down to do the podcast, we're going to shoot the breeze for a bit. We're going to hang out. We're going to catch up, and then we're also going to find a bunch of the world's most kind of common or most asked questions online.
Yeah.
And either I guess I'm going to read them to you, and we won't look at the answer because we're talking Yahoo Answer style. So there'll be an answer. Somebody in the world will have answered it. There's upvotes involved.
Yeah.
So I'll read it to you and get your first impressions and answers, or vice versa. Mm-hmm. And that's the sub context.
Yeah.
Below Shooting the Breeze.
Shooting the Breeze.
And that's the podcast. That's what we are.
Because we're pretty similar temperaments, right? We probably approach things very similarly. We went away together. We did a cool little trip.
We did a cool little trip not that long ago.
Totally platonic. And we...
Well,
totally
all I'm saying for $2 million is I'd be a woman for a night.
Whoa.
That's all I'm saying.
That's $2 million. Why $2 million? It's okay.
I just threw a number
It's
out.
okay. Cool. So I'm just going to shoot the breeze somewhere else.
Moving on.
We went to Coffs Harbour and we were just the same person. And it was great.
Just chilling.
It was a bit guy-lovey, as in Scrubs and Turk, JD.
Yep. Bromancing.
And that's cool. And we were just the same person. Macca's all the time.
And it was disgusting, but we just didn't want to spend money. And because we're the same person, we're like, I'm happy to feel disgusting for 4 days.
Yeah, it was a 4.
I'm happy to 3 or 4.
We survived.
I'm more than happy to eat McDonald's for like 2 to 3 meals a day.
We got hog's breath once.
We sure did.
It waited a really long time. That was probably the worst conversation we've ever had because
You were so mad.
I was antsy. I was like,
You were just... That was the first and probably the only time where I've seen that side of you. Where you're like angry and short-tempered and like aggressive.
yeah.
And it was making me feel like edgy. I was like, man,
Sorry.
like, hey, I mean, you were hungry. It's
I
not...
was
You know,
really hungry.
you were hungry and it was taking forever.
That's the thing, though. Usually being tired's my thing. Being tired's usually the thing that gets me antsy and angry.
Mm-hmm.
Ask the people who love me most. You know?
They'll tell you.
He's a bad tired.
You wait till he's sleepy.
Oh, wait. And we never got that because we were the same temperament. We would just be like, night,
No,
dude. Except I did keep you up one night because I was, what was it? No! Absolutely
no,
not.
dude. Mwah.
We both have beautiful, beautiful girlfriends. I love my girlfriend.
That's good. That's good to put it out there.
Thanks.
What were you going to say?
I don't even care, Tom.
You were going to say something.
No,
Something. There was one night you kept me up, if you know what I mean.
did.
I'm sorry, dude. You can't say it like that. What did you... Oh, we went to the hill. We climbed that mountain.
Yeah,
Is
that was
what you're
fun.
talking
No, I wasn't talking about that. I was talking about the first night where I actually...
Oh,
we
because you were
were-
snoring or something.
Something.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
And I kicked the bed. Because before we went to sleep, you were like... Just like, if I'm snoring, just like shake me. Or
Yeah,
like something.
yeah,
like,
yeah.
Super feel free to wake me
Because
up.
I know
Right.
that I preface that because I
Yeah.
know if you're doing that, that's
what
I'm
you
going
do.
to
Right,
I'm
right,
going
right.
to like I've held friends' noses. I've
Got the pillow.
pretty much tried to suffocate
Shut
one of my
up!
best friends because I've been snoring.
Dude, that's messed up.
It's pretty mad. It's like a new. It's like so inconsiderate.
He's
I don't
just
know.
trying to sleep.
He's just doing his thing. He could be dreaming about anything.
Actually, I heard
I
heard a comedian one time describe snoring like being a werewolf.
Yeah.
Because you come
Don't
to
know, yeah.
and everyone's mad at you.
Yeah, it's true. That's so true.
Yeah.
I've had some bad encounters, and that's exactly like not even me. Usually I don't snore. It's just with Tom. Sorry, buddy.
Hey, it happens. And I kicked the bed, and you weren't actually asleep, and you noticed, and that made me feel really embarrassed because I was like, "Oh, I was trying to wake you up. I didn't want you. I wanted you to just go, oh, that was weird, and go back to bed, but you weren't actually fully asleep yet.
I was just snoring and I was awake.
Yeah. Well, you weren't awake, but like you knew it was me
Yeah.
that kicked the bed.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't anybody else.
But you knew somebody had kicked the bed.
Yeah,
That's
true.
what I'm saying. It wasn't just like, whoa, that was a weird dream or something, you know? Like,
Yeah.
you were awake enough to be like, Tom just kicked the bed.
Tom's kicked the bed. Oh, sorry, buddy.
Sorry, dude.
What I should have done in that situation is just waited.
Mhm.
Just waited for you to be
Asleep?
asleep. That's what I should have done.
I'm a heavy sleeper as well.
You are.
Oh, yeah.
Whole big jump.
Oh, boy, am I.
Whole
Am
big
I ever?
jump. Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was great. So we were similar temperaments, and it's really cruisy time. So we'll probably approach a lot of the questions pretty similarly, which might not be very good. Oh, then again, we kind of disagree sometimes.
Yeah, I think
What did we order at the cafe today?
exactly the same
Yeah.
meal. A large mocha with a bacon and egg roll.
And he's the only person I can get a mocha with, and nobody teases me because
That's
everybody else doesn't think it's real coffee.
Yeah, and one time I was at TAFE, and it's quite a tradey, heavy environment, and I was wearing a long tee, and it was pink. Some would say watermelon, but I would say pink.
Yeah.
And I ordered a mocha, and I was sitting at a table waiting, and they were like, mocha? And then all the tradies look around and go, it's not us, mate. And then I have to stand up and walk
Your
through
pink
the
tea.
tradies with my long pink tee.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's mine. I'm sorry,
And
guys.
you made a bunch of jokes about us sleeping together on our Coffs Harbour trip.
Yeah, I did.
Just saying.
I sure did.
Sometimes the way our lives are because of the things we do.
It's my own fault, is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Could not agree more.
Just something to think about.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
No. Just being a good friend.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Absolutely appreciate that.
That's
All right.
okay.
Do we want to do some questions?
You hit me up with a question.
I don't know where I put my phone.
It's
up there.
I do.
I found
I
it.
do.
Problem. There's a flaw in our
Let's
brilliant
use the
plan.
camera. Let's use the actual
Can
camera.
I Google on the camera?
Wait, I've got a phone.
You've got a phone? I can use my iPad.
What?
I can use
yeah,
my
get your iPad.
We can sit it up there or something.
That's funny.
Yeah, chat to them super quick while
Okay. You better run, because I'm scared of being alone. Uh-oh, the door's shutting by itself. Oh, thank goodness.
That can be third sticks if we ever need it.
Third stick. Door slamming?
Oh, you can't see the door.
Can't see the door. I said the door was slamming. I narrated the process. I was just keeping everyone in the loop. So, Yahoo questions. I'm kind of interested because I don't
You're
know what
interested?
you're talking about. This isn't something that's been my idea. I never go on Yahoo.
Neither.
The only thing I know about Yahoo is that that scene in Inspector Gadget
Inspector Gadget.
where the sign falls on the henchman in the car,
Oh yeah.
and they make the Yahoo.
Okay.
Might look it up for reference later.
We can cut it in. I don't want to have to cut it in, but
Okay.
I can. I can
Our
if we
phone's
want.
back over there. I'll put
Yes.
it in upstairs. Okay.
All right. I've got a questions. Let me find you one.
Can't say that.
What?
You gotta pick them wisely. You're picking them.
I'm picking them. See, the problem is at the moment a lot of
Can
Yahoo-
filter them?
a lot of yeah, I'd imagine so. Surely. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. I'd imagine that. Oh wait, we can go and we can answer them.
Can we?
We can be the first to answer. This question was from 4 seconds ago.
Great.
What a world we've come across.
Do I look attractive? No picture.
Do we want to look into that?
No.
What's the answer?
Ooh.
Does this person look attractive?
No, because there's no picture.
But I mean, they still look, just because we don't see how they look, they still look a certain way.
Yeah, but then you can't say yes either, can you?
But are not all people,
No.
You say there's some ugly people?
There are definitely some ugly people in the world.
Alright.
Big
I
time.
appreciate that.
I mean, you don't want to be... Hey, see you, Tom.
Give me 2 seconds.
I'm left alone to my own judgmental opinion now. No, don't you think?
No, I agree.
I mean,
agree.
that sounds mean.
But I think if you're looking from a purely physical perspective, not everybody's attractive.
Yeah.
At all.
Oh, yeah.
There are some ugly people
Big
out there.
time.
There's some beautiful personalities in an ugly body.
Well, very
Sometimes.
interesting. So, of course, like there's... So basically, depending on where you grow up, of course, like nature, nurture, all
Yeah.
that jazz,
Yeah.
like your opinion of what's attractive is going to be really different.
Absolutely.
So there's this SBS show where they looked at beauty all around the world.
Okay.
In some places it was like big, larger ladies.
India and like those sorts of places, right?
Tell me so.
I think it's because it represents like, oh, you're so healthy. You've had so much food.
Oh!
Like you're like a wealthy, successful person because you've had so much food that you're able to be overweight.
Right,
Even
that's
though
cool.
that could mean I'm buying a lot of cheap, unhealthy food. But in that context or in
for
that
us,
culture,
big time.
they're like, oh, you're so fat. That's amazing.
Well done.
Yeah, like, good on you. I'm so thin. I've got no food. You're so
Aw.
fat. You know what I mean?
That's really sad.
It is a bit
Yeah,
sad.
That's cool.
But I think that's where it comes from.
That's where it comes from. We just found it out. Good job. Go us. Go to the bottom.
Here's
of it.
to us.
Well, yeah. My opinion?
So, do I look attractive?
No.
Do we answer?
Be the first person.
No.
Do you have an account? Oh, you gotta log in.
I'm going to have to log in. This is what the podcast could be, is that we actually answer
Yeah.
questions.
Big time.
And we film ourselves and record ourselves answering those questions.
Big time.
Alright, well, I'll make an account post-podcast. And I'll
Slide
answer.
effect.
No, not now. Post-podcast,
Okay.
I'll make an account.
Okay.
Alright, next one.
Something good.
There's a lot, we'll skip to a good one.
Whoa, Tom, I see that you've covered your camera screen on the iPad.
I have.
Are you scared? Do you take it in the bath with you?
I do.
And you go, oh,
I do.
that was a joke. But
No, I have a lot of baths. I have probably
You take
2
that.
baths a week, and there's I've got a wooden table that I sit next to the bath.
remember what we were talking about just a little earlier? About... I think I just Just as long as you hear it. As long as you can hear it. You can hear it?
I hear it.
Cool. I used to take baths and then
I take a lot of baths. They're so relaxing.
Great.
You're working, you're stressing about life. Watch a 30-minute YouTube video while you're in the bath. I also take some food in and a drink.
Or you drop it in the bath.
You sit it on the table and you eat it. What do you mean?
Oh, wow.
You don't have it in the bath, you have it next to the bath.
I've
I've dropped a chip in the bath.
I know. That's what I'm looking for. Because there's always a risk.
You don't want a soggy chip in the bath.
There's consequence.
There absolutely is consequence.
So, it's okay.
What's wrong with my thumbs?
What do they say?
I do classes for jiu-jitsu, and the instructor was teaching me a technique, and then notices my thumb and says, "Did you bite your nail off?" He said it very short and thick. I looked around at other classmates. Oh, sorry. He said it's very short and thick, and I looked around at other classmates, and they had a longer normal thumb. Is there surgery I can have to fix this?
It's quite drastic. That's one person, as far as I'm aware, who's said something about your thumbs, and you're already considering surgery.
That just shows you how fragile people can be. Because if you said, "Hey man, your thumbs are weird," after 21 years of my life, and I'm like, "My thumbs are weird? What do you mean? I thought my thumbs were fine."
And you just go, you do surgery as well to fix your thumbs?
No. I wouldn't, because I could not care less. But I can see people that would.
I don't have earlobes, and that's been, people kind of, do you have earlobes?
No, I don't think so.
You don't have earlobes? Oh.
Not bad.
But, sometimes people point out my lack of earlobe, and...
But isn't that just like a genetics thing?
I'm not going to cut it,
Don't cut it.
I wouldn't cut it.
You've got an ear... I guess it's not a lobe, because it's connected. Is that what you're saying? But it's still there.
Yeah. That's exactly.
Like, you can still get an earring in there.
Maybe.
Maybe that's next podcast.
Maybe. I'm sitting in a chair, and you're...
Don't move!
Oh my gosh.
How would I go about... did we answer that question? Some people don't get surgery.
Don't get surgery.
Unless your thumbs are actually weird.
Unless...
His thumbs could actually be messed up.
If I had 2 thumbs, I'd get surgery.
If you had 2 thumbs.
On
one hand.
Yeah.
4 thumbs total. Or 3 thumbs total. Maybe. That's still a problem.
No, yeah.
You don't want 2 thumbs on one hand and 1 thumb on the other hand.
I don't. Oh, maybe I'd get surgery to put 2 thumbs on the other hand as well.
Now you're talking.
That
makes way more sense.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I'm with you.
More equals better in everything.
Right.
If you're born with an extra eye,
lucky you.
Lucky you.
I hear that. I appreciate it.
Good.
Alright, good. I'd say don't get surgery unless there's actually a problem. And if you've got the money for it...
Yeah, it's a lot of money, I think.
But if he's wealthy as craziness, then fine.
He's on Yahoo Answers.
He can't be that wealthy.
No.
I'm with you. Alright, don't get surgery.
Don't get
surgery. Nice.
Ooh, what's one about my boyfriend?
My boyfriend keeps going to the library but turns down a Kindle whenever I offer it to him. My boyfriend reads, and he reads constantly. He is always paying visits to the library. Library? Library. Library, and I have offered to buy him a Kindle so that he can read books, but he is so obstinate. Obstinate? He doesn't think reading on a Kindle is as beneficial as reading print. I'm sorry, the sentences are just so bad.
Junkie.
Reading print, and he thinks by reading books he can process more information.
Yeah.
Why is he so stupid?
Aw, so mean.
That's your freaking boyfriend.
There's a lot of things to unpack there,
I agree.
So, Kindles are great.
Kindles are great.
Like what? Even their screens are pretty much paper. Like
yes.
they've designed it so you don't like stay awake because of the blue screen.
Like the backlight of the screen.
Yeah.
Has been designed specifically not to like
stimulate you that way.
Yeah.
It's great. So Kindles are great, I understand, but there's nothing like going and getting a book.
Right.
I get.
It's kind of
so
like
exciting.
I think it's kind of reminiscent of like the whole vinyl thing that's coming back in our society or in our culture, right?
Yeah, sure.
Where it's like, oh, I'll download this album, but it's like a special album, so I'll buy the vinyl as well. You know what I mean? And so I feel like a Kindle, and this can go even to like apps like Audible, where you just want to ingest content and enjoy it. Then downloading a book. Downloading a book on a Kindle or listening to a book on Audible. Did you like that? Whoa! I think that's acceptable.
Yeah.
But I think if it's going to be like a special book, like your favourite author or like the next one in a series that you're really enjoying, I think buying a book, I can appreciate that. There's something very satisfying about having a physical book. Although, you got it in a library. So you're not even buying the book, you're just borrowing a book.
Yeah.
So I think she's, from what I can tell, she's saying he's borrowing the book because he doesn't think he'll absorb the information as well from a Kindle.
Okay.
Not because of anything else.
Man, that makes me kind of go, why is he so stupid? I'm team girlfriend. You know?
I'm on team girlfriend too.
You're on team girlfriend.
I think what we said before about the special books and things, I think that's not what his problem is. I think his problem is just that he doesn't think he'll be able to read it and ingest the information as well. I think that doesn't make any sense. I think a Kindle is designed to be easy to read books on.
You can't eat it. Pages you could totally read.
You could eat,
you can ingest.
And I'm a sweaty dude. I've got sweaty hands all the time. My world is
Sweat hands.
wet things because of how sweaty my
Sweaty
hands
hand Tom.
That's what they call me.
Sweaty hand Tom. It's good.
So on a book, if I'm reading a page like for a long time, I'll get a little mark on the side of the page.
Oh, right.
And it'll go away once I
Grease ball.
stop sweating.
I get it.
Stop greasing it up.
So stop sweating. Do you stop sweating?
Once I take my thumb off is what I meant.
Even when you're in the bath.
You don't know if you're sweating in the bath.
I think that's a veil for you to feel safe.
That's why I love baths.
I love baths because I don't know.
Finally, I'm not sweating. I can pretend that I'm not.
The bath!
But I don't know.
I don't know.
Alright, I think the boyfriend is pretty stupid.
Why is he so stupid? That's what I was
Yeah,
saying.
why is he so stupid? I think she'd already come to her own answer.
Well, actually, there's a couple of questions there. So,
Couple of answers?
we have an out. Don't know why he's stupid. Why is he stupid? We haven't answered that part of the question yet.
That's a good question. That's a hard question. Why is the boyfriend stupid? That is the question.
That is
Why
the
is he
question.
so stupid?
What's
Because she
the
already
other
knows that he is wrong.
Right.
So she's asking, why is he so stupid? Why do you think he's so stupid?
Crayon, up nose, early childhood.
Now you're talking. Mm-hmm. He fell on a box of crayons and one went up his nose. Oh, I'm stupid now.
Totally. It's got to be it. Up the nose.
I think people in... I think there's a certain type of person that is a little bit scared or intimidated of technology as well.
Oh, yeah.
Or something new.
I'm scared of
I
this
still
mic.
hate this mic on my desk.
He
right
looks scary.
now. You never know what
He'd
he's going to
definitely
do.
be evil.
If it was, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
If he became
There's like a little red light on our side of the mic where it's like, he just...
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like Hal from 2001.
Yeah.
Is that right? Hal?
I think,
I haven't
don't know.
seen it.
I haven't seen it either.
I know a lot about movies, just not because I've watched them though, just because I've seen stuff.
Trust me, I've seen some stuff. My sister wants to kick me out of a wedding because I want to wear white.
Huge
Thoughts?
thoughts. Oh, we're gonna.
There is an answer,
I don't want to read that.
but we
answer
won't
now.
read the answer yet. It's also quite a large
Yeah,
answer.
I said pretty simply, you probably would want to wear white, right? Like it's totally her day, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, you can't kick your sister.
Are we going
out,
to
right?
assume that they're sisters?
My sister.
Yeah, but as in the person writing the question
the
is also a
sister
girl?
is the.
I don't think
she doesn't
a
have the power
male-
to kick her out of the wedding.
Huh?
She doesn't have the power to kick her out of the wedding if it's not hers, right?
No, it's her sis. So the sister's getting married,
Yeah.
but the person writing the question, I think, is also a woman.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're sisters. It's not brother sister.
Right.
They're both sisters.
Yes.
And my thought there is because if a guy,
Well, why?
like, what does that mean?
Well, guys can
Like
wear
an all white
I went to a
suit?
wedding and all the guys had a white shirt on. I was the only one with burgundy.
I mean, yeah, but the sister won't care about that. The sister will only care if...
So I'm backing your argument.
Great.
Sorry.
We got there.
We got there.
Yeah, I feel like... I think from the bride, sister,
Yeah.
I think it's a perfectly reasonable thing to ask, especially if she's in the bridal party, to say...
Big time.
Like,
she might be
although-
omitting some details, like
Sure.
leaving some stuff out. 'cause
But
that's
if you're
a
in the
big deal.
bridal party, doesn't the bride pick what the bridesmaids wear anyway?
Yeah, you'd hope so.
So we're saying she's not in the bridal party then. She's just attending
Ooh, well, that's probably why. You know, there's some issues here.
Maybe there's an underlying...
She's like, I want to wear white because I'm not even in the flipping bridal.
I want to wear the bridesmaid dress,
Yeah.
but you're not letting me. So instead, I'll wear white.
Yeah, I'll wear white. Yeah.
I see. I hear that.
You know, I think. What would I do? I think you kind of got to like. Well, I mean, not that I think about my wedding day all the time.
When I was a little girl.
Since I was a little girl. No, but you know, that's totally a thing. You include the best friends, the siblings in your bridal party, right?
And there's quite a beautiful symmetry when you, like, especially if there's siblings on both sides of the marriage.
That's it.
You get like
Nice.
Husband, best friend, brother,
Yeah.
and then wife,
Yeah.
best friend, sister.
Yeah.
It's
You
beautiful.
got to go for symmetry. It's great.
Absolutely.
Conceptual symmetry is magnifique.
Yeah, I think that's great.
That's why we've tried really hard. I don't know if we're in.
The mic isn't in the middle anymore. Oh wait, there's no middle line. It might be. We don't know. It looks fine with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. They can't see what you just did.
Acting on his foot. Oh, so lame. Dang it, you have to cut like.
We can cut that.
No, it's alright.
Maybe it's fine.
Maybe it's funny.
I'll review the footage
Yeah,
later.
you've complete control. Just like this sister has complete No, she doesn't. I don't think you can kick anybody. You can't kick your sister out of the wedding. Even if you're the bride.
I think you can.
Maybe you can, but you
I think you can, but I think you
completely
should.
ruin a relationship.
Yeah, and your wedding, right? Because in a year later, when you're looking back on that day, and you're like,
"Oh,
man,
she's
I actually did kick my sister, like, not let my sister come to the wedding purely because she wanted to wear white. But also, sisters sometimes look very similar.
They're doing it for themselves.
I don't know what that means. Sisters doing it for themselves? I don't know this song, I'm sorry. I knew there was a reference there, but I didn't know what it was.
The way I looked.
Yeah, I was like, come on, you're like, come on, man. You know that song. I'm tickling my foot. Do I need to move my foot? Can you restrain
That's
yourself?
what I'm asking. Yeah.
What about if I do that?
That's perfect.
Yeah, I think as like once you're married, a year later, you look back and you're like, man, I love my sister, and I actually didn't let her come to my wedding just because she wore white. But at the same time, the sister a year later would be like, man, I actually made my sister not let me go to a wedding purely because I wanted to wear white.
Oh my gosh.
Like, as if I wouldn't wear, like, a shell colour. Or, like, an off-white.
Yeah.
Or, like, something else.
Yeah.
A pantsuit.
Yeah.
It's 2019.
That's the thing. Half the problems that people have is because genuinely, there's actually both people are sucking in some capacity.
Yep.
So, I also have this other theory, Tom.
Why
Want more theory with Joe? More theory with
Yeah.
Joe? Because I've got a buttload of theories.
A buttload of theories.
Buttload. I think about stuff too much. I was telling Tom before, when I have a chance, like if I have a day, I'm not in a rush to go see another friend usually. Tom's great. But,
Thanks.
I'm kind of like, I kind of just chill out and I like to think.
Yeah.
And I'm like, So I'll sit down, I'll have a morning to myself, and I'll just be thinking about stuff. Theory. Okay?
I'm ready.
Half of the problems that we have talking to each other, most of the time, because you're hanging out with people who think like you anyway,
Right.
in general.
Yeah.
Core
Echo
values,
chamber
core
style.
values, whatever. Echo
Yeah,
chamber
yeah,
style.
yeah.
So half the time, but yet you still find yourself having disagreements and whatever else. I think half the time, and not even half the time, probably a lot of the time, people are just really like. I found this because I've started a relationship with my girlfriend this year. It's been great. Plug. And plug like you're plugging an advertisement or something.
You're plugging your relationship?
Yeah, sponsor us.
Sponsor my relationship.
If you want me to,
If you
keep
want me
going,
and my girlfriend to
sponsor our
turn up
wedding
at your
one day.
event.
Yeah,
okay.
Anyway, saying that, like I found like half the time we're saying the same thing,
Right.
but we're just doing it differently.
Yeah.
And that's what the argument's about.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So like I found this. I was just talking to two friends who didn't have a disagreement. They were okay. They're okay. But both of them were telling me about the other person, and I was like, you realise you kind of just said the same thing, but just differently, and it was really weird. And they keep doing it, and it's like that's half of the confrontation. Usually, is that actually you're saying the same thing, you're just saying it differently. You both have the same beliefs and the same values. You just say it differently, and communication is a big thing. Did you know that when you're presenting something, so say I'm just talking to you,
Yeah.
it's like way over 50% about how you actually say something and less about what you're actually saying.
Yeah, right. I absolutely.
You agree with that? Like, it's like a really high percent, like close to 90. Like 90% of what or how something is communicated is about how you say it and less about what you're actually saying anyway.
Yeah.
So if you say it in a way that someone goes, I think I agree with that because it sounds
like I could agree.
Like I could agree with that,
right.
less about actually what they're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Theory time with dry.
With Joe.
Dry.
Theory dry with Joe.
Dry.
I do agree. I think that's right. And I think I've read somewhere or heard somewhere that when you're having a conversation with someone, and this is quite sad, really.
Uh-oh.
Not that sort of sad.
I'm going to find a joke in this somewhere.
Not crying
You've seen
sad.
9/11 before.
I think we didn't get that.
Oh, we didn't get
I
it?
don't think we recorded it.
Boop! Yeah.
I think... I heard or read somewhere that when a lot of a conversation, the other person isn't necessarily listening and is more thinking about what their response is going to be.
I was just doing that, looking out the window.
Yeah.
It's you!
Right. And that's what people do.
jerk.
No, that's what everybody does all the time.
Yeah.
And it means that... And there's an underlying... Like, there's a want for you to, like, win the argument or win the conversation so the other person is like, I agree with that. I see what you're saying. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it ends up... If you get two people...
Just doing it again.
Who are, but that's fine. I think that's fine. Because it's what happens. It's what everybody always does.
Yeah.
You always hear a point, and then your brain goes off on that point. It's like, how am I going to respond to that point?
Yeah.
And then you don't actually listen to the rest of the conversation or that side of the argument.
Tricky.
I think another part of it is that when, like, if you've got an opinion, that opinion can be based on so many micro factors in your life.
Yeah.
So, like, sometimes, and I find this with people in my life, where they'll have an opinion on something, and I'll try to logic that opinion out of them and be like, why do you feel that way? Or, like, where did you get that from? And they get very frustrated because they're not able to say, oh, it's, I think this because of this. It's like, they're just like, I just think this. This is how I feel. And that causes a lot of friction as well, because then if you've got a lot of, like, you don't know why you feel a way, but you feel a certain way, it makes it very difficult for you to have a good argument about that opinion, because you don't have anything to base your opinion on. It's just how you feel, right?
There's a lot of feeling.
There's a lot of feeling.
I'm pretty tough on feelings. I've got big feelings. Big feelings, Tom. But
I'll take your word for it.
Trust me, Tom. No, I do. I'm a pretty emotional guy, but I've been cracking down so much on everybody, like, especially our young adult culture, just how we do things, because everyone's really fickle. Everyone kind of just goes back and forth. There's a lot of people not knowing what to do because their heart changes, and it's like, it's like a daily thing. It's going to be changing a heck of a lot, Tom. You're doing great. I catch up with you and I go, oh yeah, Tom's doing this thing.
Same old Tom.
Same
old consistent Tom.
In the bar, wearing pink shirts, eating food,
having a mocha.
Bacon. You added an egg to your bacon and egg roll.
That's new-ish. Sometimes I feel like an egg. I don't always feel like an egg, but I did today.
Great.
And last night when I was thinking about breakfast,
You're like,
I was going to bed.
Yes, it's a mental
I think
prep
I want
probably.
an egg.
You go. I need it. I might have an egg.
I'm not going to say I'm definitely having it, but I might have an egg.
Good.
That's what I said to myself last night. We'll wrap up the first episode
Shooting
the Breeze with Tom and Joe.
Yeah.
I guess let us know what you think. Why not? If it's on YouTube, I don't know. I mean, we had some technical difficulties to a point of cameras.
We lost all our good content.
We did lose a bit of content.
All our good.
But if it's on YouTube, there's comments. Comment. Let us know what you think.
Yeah.
Tell us why you hated the parts that you hated and why you loved the part that you loved.
Yeah.
Should we sign off that way every single thing?
Tell us why you hated
the parts you hated and why you loved the parts you loved. It's quite long.
Yeah, it's not very...
It doesn't roll off the tongue very easily.
No, it doesn't. Or you could say one part and I'll say the other.
I like that.
Yeah?
Yeah, we can do that. We can do that for now.
I like that. We got to elect. That's cool.
Sure, alright. Great. Namaste. Thank you all. We'll see you next time. I like that. That was nice. That was a nice way to end. A little clap.